Okay, and welcome back to the 8th edition of the Alguna International. We're at Moods, the food provider for the tournament for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
We're here for, it's not afternoon tea with Fram because we haven't got any tea, but we'll provide something. And we have a special guest today, the world champion and world number one, Ali Farag.
And the flies.
And the flies.
I mean, you don't know, but there's a fly going on his nose and it's driving him nuts and he can't do anything because he's holding the camera. So, he's mean. You know, you think he's a nice guy, but he's mean. Look at him. Look at him. He's all welcome, Ali.
Thank you.
First of all, you know, it's so nice to have you. You are playing a bit later
my
today,
pleasure.
but it's
Tomorrow,
just
inshallah.
for your training. That's why we are able to, to grab you. You are now in May. You became world number one, world champion. Is it something that you want to share with us? Like, what did you do? Did you eat something specific? What? Tell us.
I mean, as I said, you know, it's always been a dream of mine to become either world number one or the world champion. And whenever I was asked which one would you pick, and I said, well, I don't know. The world number one means that you're consistent for the past 12 months, and then world champion is something that nobody can ever take away from you. And people from outside of our sport understand the world champion more than a world number one. So the fact to be able to get them on 2 days back to back is, I couldn't have asked for a better way for it to happen.
Absolutely really. Incredible. When you were younger, you said you were dreaming of it, but did you really, you can dream, you're like, oh, I'm dreaming I'm going to marry Prince Charming, and then that doesn't happen. And God knows that I kissed a few toads in my days, but realistically, what did you expect from, your squash career?
I didn't expect anything beyond the junior career because I come from a very academic family, and I always thought that juniors is going to be the end of it, and then I would go to college, and then after this I would just work in the private sector and never think about squash again. But and this was actually the path that I took up until my senior year at college. And then after college, Noor, who's my fiance back then, and Mike Wade, Harvard head coach, and Wael are the three that pushed me to do it. They said, you have a passion for it, and I think you can be good at it, and just give it a try and see how it goes. And I actually had to serve in the military that year, so I couldn't work anyway. So I said, okay, I might as well try it. And I started from 88, and I ended that year at 22, and I reached the quarters of the World Open, and most importantly, I was enjoying it. I was touring the world, doing the thing I love the most, with the person I love the most. There was nothing wrong about it, so I said, okay, I'm just gonna give it a go for however long I can, and then after this I can always go back to the private sector.
You mentioned Noor, your wife. It's quite incredible. You see, it's coming up to you now. It's quite incredible to have your wife. You made history by winning the U.S. Open on the same day, which was quite incredible. Is it a good thing some days, or is it a bad thing other days? How do you?
Well, like everything else, it comes with its own pros and cons, but the pros way outweigh the cons. No doubt about it. They always say you want your boss to understand you personally, and you want them to understand the field well. Nobody would understand me better than Noor. Nobody would understand the field better than Noor because she's a champion herself. So it's very good to have her, not only in between games, but on a regular, on a daily basis. Whenever you have a down day in practice, a down week, a down period, she always knows how to talk to you out of it, and she knows when to approach you, when not to approach you, and we have a very unique lifestyle as athletes, and not many people would understand it from outside the sport world. So to have this obviously is great, but obviously sometimes it's tough when we have to play back to back, when someone wins, the other loses. All these things we have to deal with. At the beginning it was tough for the two of us. We didn't really understand each other. I would sometimes say the things not inappropriately, but in a way that I think this would what is going to make her better, but I didn't. Definitely I didn't, and she would be mad at me sometimes the other way around. But I think we're working things out, and I think it's definitely working a lot better at the moment.
Danny Massaro told me 2 days ago about his wife, saying she's been all my life she's been a complete mystery. Would you say that about Noor? That she's you understand her well?
Well, nobody understands anyone 100%, but I would say that I understand how. I would like to say that. Hopefully she thinks the same way.
No, absolutely not.
No, I'd like to think that for sure. well, let's talk the other way around. She definitely understands what I need and what I want to hear and when I want to hear it. You know, in between games, she is my favorite person to come and talk to me now, because there is only so much you can do in 2 minutes. It's more about psychologically what she's gonna say, and she says it very well and very simply, and she doesn't overcomplicate things. Same as on daily basis. So I hope I'm doing the same to her as well.
What would you say her best quality is? Noor's best quality.
Very creative and the fighting spirit. I think those are the two things that's on court. Obviously, she has so many other qualities off court, but on court, I think you saw last season in Chicago, for example, winning 4 5-setters back to back, being mentally tired, physically tired, not playing the best of her squash, and coming through so many great players just with her fighting spirits, and then with some creative shots out of the blue. I think this is something I really admire about her.
If you had to summarize your life at the moment, would you say it's the best it can ever be, or you see what I mean? How do you?
It's missing a baby.
Yeah.
It's missing a baby.
Yeah. That's what I
thought. I come from a very, very family-oriented background, and for me, squash is a station in my life. It's not all my life. It's a step. You know, it's not my entire life. I definitely want to achieve everything I can in it. I will give it my very best. I hope I can leave a legacy the same way Rami did when he left the other day. Everyone is going to talk about Rami for decades and decades to come. I hope I can achieve half of what he did, and but then squash is not all my life. Family for me, I really want to have a nice family, to be able to raise good children, to be able to affect the society well, and then hopefully these are the moments I'm really looking forward to in my life.
To conclude, because we're trying to keep it, a bit short always, but can you please tell me best, worst moment in squash?
Best is wow. It has to be somewhere between the three of. It's not the World Championships. The fact that Noor they couldn't convert that final made it a bit hard that day. It's either the TOC when I won and I claimed that #1 spot, or the US Open winning it with Noor. Because so many great things about this day is that the first ever platinum title World Series back then for me, first platinum for Noor. History together, the fact that we did it together, the hype that everything about it was, and then claiming the world #1 spot, obviously. So it's somewhere between these two. The worst day is when I was 16, when I decided to hang up my rackets, and I thought I'm not gonna be able to achieve my dream, which was the World Junior Championships. Back then, it wasn't anything in the senior level. And thanks to my brother, he's the one that got me out of it, and he told me, I believe in your dream, and I'm gonna coach you from now on. And he's been my coach ever since. And it's probably the worst day, but it's the biggest turning point of my life, and it's what brought me to sit here with you today.
Thank you very much, Ali.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Merci.